Hello, good evening, and welcome to tonight's webinar training. I do need you to give me a few seconds here. I think some folks are having a problem this week, so please forgive us on that. Of course, we can't control all of the technology, and I think some of it is slow. So if it is slowing down to you, always know that we're going to have the replay. All right, so we're going to fix it up for the replay. But also, there were some of you who did not do the proper registration this week. I think the way it was set up this week, you had to re-log in or to re-sign up. For those who did January and February, what we did was we had those pretty much automatically programmed, and everybody in the Strategic Secret University and Monetize Your Skills Academy, you are all pre-registered. This one, what we did in March here, we actually allowed for folks to actually do their own registration. So that might be one of the reasons why you did not get the link. So I'm getting some text there in a few moments. So we just 1 minute into it. So we're going to start in about 3 minutes. So please give me a little moment just to send out a quick email here to a few of my friends who are contacting me here. I'm going to try to do Messenger as well as a quick email. So stay tuned. If you're online, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Going to be starting in just a moment. And if you want, please share your link so you can invite someone to tonight's training also. Okay. Just bear with me a quick second here. By the way, tonight's training is going to be very important. If you do have a product, a program, or something that you're doing, you will want to be able to share this stuff. Take notes. So, get comfy. Get comfy. We're going to spend about 50 to 55 minutes training on a key topic for our community. So please go ahead and do that right now. If you need a little break, go ahead and do that. If you need to stretch, go ahead and do that. You need to grab your little note-taking device. Go ahead and do that. Alrighty. Just a moment. Bear with me. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your time. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Where is Sindel? I can send a message quickly here. Can I do this? I don't know if you're familiar with Murphy. You know Murphy's Law? Murphy is trying to visit us tonight. Bear with us real quick, folks. I need to figure out how we can get some music in the background when we start our webinars from here on out. That'll be interesting to do. Okay, almost there. Alrighty, I think this computer also is having some issues, so I'm gonna fire up my other laptop here. Alright, we're gonna switch computers real quick. Alrighty, I think we are good to go. Can you guys see me, hear me? Make sure we are okay. Voila, I think we're good. Alrighty, so let me bring up my PowerPoint for tonight. We have a slideshow again. If you are on, this is going to really change your life. I want you to please make sure that you take notes. Please, please take notes. All right, let's go to here. And in the replay, I'm going to email you a handout that goes along perfectly with tonight's presentation. So one more time, let me just do a check. For those of you who could not get on when we started, right, we're into 14 minutes now, so we have to take off about 10 minutes from our presentation so we can stick to our time schedule. So what I want you to do, okay, if you didn't get it, of course, we'll do the replay. But nonetheless, I do hope that those of you who messaged me, those of you who could not get on, that now you are able to log on. So one more check real quick. Already. And let me make sure I can hear myself. To go. Already. So real quick, give me a 1 if you can see me and if you can hear me, just to make certain that we are okay. I have my slideshow up. I'm ready to go. But please give me a 1 here in the chat below, or if you're on your mobile device, should be below. If you're on the your computer, should be on the right hand side. But give me a simple number 1 if you can see me and if you can hear me, so we can go be headed on our way. Okay, let's get this PowerPoint fired up and let's get moving. One, two, voila. Start. All right, you should be seeing my PowerPoint slide right now at the moment. Let's make sure we're good for that. Alrighty. So this is where we try to start for the replay. I'll try to get this video edited before it goes out in the morning because it does go out automatically. So let's start. Tonight, we want to focus on sniper marketing. This is a training, again, that is presented exclusively, right? I have not done this training publicly. This is only exclusive to you if you are a member of Strategic Secrets University or our Monetize Your Skills Academy online course or community, because we value you and we want you to be able to have all the necessary information, knowledge, so that you can up level your life and what you are doing. This training is crucial if you have a business, if you have a practice, if you have any product, program, or service, if you have a ministry or a charity, nonprofit, whatever you want to call it, or simply if you have ideas that you want to get across, if you have a message that you want to share with the masses, this training will do you a lot of good. All right. I know that because it is crucial to anything that we do when it comes to transacting business, commerce, anything along those lines, because everyone needs marketing. But we have picked a particular niche in the marketing space called sniper marketing. So, just a little bit of background again for those who may not know me. My name is Chance, U.S. Navy veteran, number one best-selling author, implementation strategist. I've had the privilege of not only writing and publishing 10 books, but I've also helped many other people to do the same, to get their mission out to the world, to be able to make a difference, to be able to make an eternal difference at that. And traveling, is one of my things. So we've traveled, my wife and I, we've done a lot of ministry mission work all over the world. I've traveled to personally over 26 different countries now. And so I've shared my messages from different aspects of my books and different aspects of my own background and training in different venues. And this is why this is important. For me, I believe I'm multifaceted in the sense of the way God has gifted and wired me. So I've been able to talk about health in different spaces, like at the NAP Hospital and La Hacienda Healthcare. I've been able to speak at churches, juvenile detention centers, even universities, right? And so, that's really a little bit about me. And so, what I've done is that after I got out the military, I decided to get into nonprofit work because that more resonated along the lines of what I want to do. And so, today I do still serve in ministry capacity as a pastor, overseeing two churches here in the US and also many overseas. And so, I want to be able to help God's people to up level their life, their business, or their ministry, whatever area that we can be of assistance. That's why we are here. So every Thursday, we bring this training because we want you to have the knowledge and expertise and experiences of others so you can share it and do the same thing for yourself with whatever you've been gifted with, your knowledge, your expertise as well, and your own experiences. If you can package them into products, program, and services, that you can be able to extend your voice. You can be able to share with many people all over the world, literally speaking. So, when it comes to the online space, I've done many different type of training. I've been training in, publishing, whether it's book publishing, course publishing, anything digital. I've been trained in that as well. I talk about marketing. I've been certified as a copywriter. I've done projects for people in copywriting. I've also been certified in Facebook. I take different courses all the time on Facebook, but these are my best because these come from Learn Inc., which is one of the leaders out there. They do, hundreds of, they've done, over $100+ million in sales online. And so that's a little bit about me. So I'm always, up leveling and learning more and more and more. So I've taken another course called Facebook Ad Mastery. I'm about to take another Facebook course again because it's always changing, it's always upgrading, it's always, morphing. And so we want to stay at the cutting edge so we can bring you the cutting edge information. So tonight on this particular training, what are we talking about? We want to speak on the topic of sniper marketing. And here you have a photo, right? You see this lady, female sniper here, and she is lasering on her target. Sniper marketing is different than just marketing, right? Because you have, this is what, especially when it comes to nonprofit and churches. And if you're on here, please, let's just be open and honest and have a conversation, okay? This is not to belittle anybody or anything like that. But again, I've been in the nonprofit space for a long time, and in churches send flyers out in the mail to everybody in the community, one shot, and so I equate it to this. You have and I like this because, of course, I'm in the military. I was in the military, right? I'm a veteran. So I like this analogy of the sniper. You have people who are gunmen. I call them the mad gunmen versus the sniper. The mad gunman will go to a place and just shoot up everywhere, shoot up everybody, spray a whole lot of bullets, hoping that something hits, something catches. That's crazy. And that's wasting a lot of ammunition. So with the sniper, on the other hand, the sniper is not wasting bullets. He or she is focused on one target and they pick out their target one by one. They're laser focused and they rarely miss. Whereas the mad gunman, just spray everything, just shoot up all over the place, and leave a whole lot of destruction. Whereas the sniper laser focused. And that's what we want to do in marketing. So another way people put compare the mad gunman who shoots up everywhere in marketing language is called hope marketing, where you just pretty much send out whatever message to whomever, hopefully somebody responds to it. And so I see that especially nonprofits are big when it comes to that, and I think this should be most careful because you're using volunteer dollars. You're not necessarily functioning always the same as a business, so you have to be more careful with your dollars. But can you imagine, let's say you have a function like for MySpace, you have a special sermon series coming up, and you want to be able to reach the community, and your sermon is about parenting, right? But then you send out this stuff to your entire community. It doesn't matter the demographics. It's one picture, the same image for everybody, whether it be, a Hispanic community, a predominantly Caucasian, or whatever have you. And then we use the same photo to represent this, all the peoples hopefully in there. Well, we want to be able to do better than that. So this is why I'm focusing for the entire month, by the way, the entire month of March, we're going to be delving into marketing. So each Thursday in March, we're going to be dealing with different aspects of marketing. Tonight, we're going to lay the foundation of why before you get your message out there and decide even on what media channel to use, we have to ascertain who we are reaching. So the exercises we're going to be focusing on is being laser focused and specific on who it is that we want to reach. So again, sniper marketing is being laser focused and intentional about the people you want to reach with your mission, message, or cause, or your product, program, or service, whatever it may be. So we know marketing is positioning yourself, your product in front of the most qualified lead customer or client who are most likely to buy your product, engage with your thing, and ultimately convert. So again, if that's ministry, that may mean, or if it's a church, then it's who is your ideal member. Like we think, yes, God gave us the Great Commission, but you cannot reach everybody, right? And so some people think, yeah, I'm gonna just send a big wide net, and you do that in different aspects. But the reality is there are unique people who resonate with your mission and your message as a church, your way of preaching, your way of teaching, and you really are not gonna attract everybody, right? I do mission work all over the world, but there are some places that I don't really feel a call to go. Even though, again, I believe in mission, I teach, even on that sometimes missiology. But my whole purpose is everybody has their own particular niche and market that they must reach, and they have to find the best ways of, reaching those people. And so if you think of it on those levels, whatever you have right now that you're trying to get in front of people, it could be even growing your Facebook following. If that's your goal, then you also need to know marketing because, again, not everybody is going to follow you. And you don't want everybody following you, a matter of fact. You want key people to follow you. So let's delve into a little bit more on this here. If you're going to be intentional, because that's part of this word why I put sniper in capital letter as well. What you have to do is select a niche or niche, depending on your accent. But for me, I say your niche, right? Some folks say niche. What is a niche? A niche is a specific group of people or target or person individually that you want to reach with your message. Okay? Marketing have three main components. Number one, you should write these down. The three main components of all marketing are these. One, you have your market, hence marketing. You have your message, and three, you have your media, your channel that you are going to reach them. So your market are the people, right? The demographics, as it were, of the people that you're trying to reach. The message is the story, the words, the pictures, the image, the videos that you use to reach them in the sense of what story are you telling them? What are you telling them is like information. So that's the thing that you use to pretty much, help them to understand your product or offer. And then the channel could be many things, and that's where we get hooked up most. I mean, that's where we get pretty much, I guess, focused entirely on, really, is the media, the channel in reaching people. But I mean, if you can have the best channel, let's say Facebook, but if you have the wrong message and you're not reaching the right market, it still does you no good. So all of these are important. And again, you can have the right message, the best copy done, and all of that stuff, but if you don't have the right market and you're not using the right channel that these people would respond to, then you are still shooting yourself in the foot. So all of them are important. So again, let's go back and write those down. The three main keys to effective and strategic marketing are: one, you have to know your market. Know your market. And that's what we're going to focus on for tonight, because I want to hone in on the market, because we need to break that down even further. Number two is your messaging. What words, how are you going to convey that need to this people, or help to resonate with that market? So that's why you need to know the market first, because you got to use appropriate language and appropriate descriptions that match that particular segment. So again, if you take back the example of the church, okay, if you're reaching parents, but it could be single parents, it could be married people, it could be millennial families. It could be older families. You see the difference? Could be people with one child or two children and so forth and whatnot. All of these require different messaging, because you are reaching a unique population. And so if you just send out one flyer, don't think that it's going to resonate with everybody, because it's not for everybody. And then, of course, the appropriate media, which again, media includes things like, again, we can use digital online versus offline. So we can use the newspaper, radio, TV, internet, and the like. So those are all different channels: billboards, sidewalks, vehicles, different things. All of those count as media. And that's really what most people focus on. But you don't want to worry about the media. That will take care of itself, as long as we know who exactly our ideal person that we're trying to reach is, and also what the messaging is for that particular person. So let's hone in on something now. How do we pick a niche? A niche. A niche is now a subcategory or a further drilling down, a further focus within your market. So you have your big market, and so I'm going to take you through a couple of exercises, right? So this is a big pool of people. Like health, for example, is a market. Health is a market. Spirituality is a market. Religion itself could be a market. That's big, though, right? But you want to drill down. So, for example, and relationships, those are all big markets. So if we go into, let's when I say niche, this is what I'm trying to say now. Niche now is digging deeper down within your market. So if the market is, let's say, health, you can get further down. We can get into natural health. And then we get further down. You can talk about vegetarianism, veganism, and all these different diets. So that's why you notice when people come out with their products, they come out specifically and they're talking about this diet. Now, that's a particular category in the big sea of health related products. But you will be competing with everybody else that has to do all these different things when it comes to health. But if you focus specifically now on vegetarianism or vegans, now you see you are now removing people who are not interested in that type of particular thing. So when you get to your community now and you're sending out a flyer, you're not trying to reach everybody who are not into being vegan. So if you want to offer a class, a cooking class, to people who are vegans, then your wording will be different than if you're just trying to offer it to somebody who is interested in food as a whole, right? Food overall is part of health, but then being vegan is a total different part. So let's take relationship. Relationship again is big, but then when we break it down, again, we can get into parenting. But I just shared with you, parenting could be divided by age and divided whether it's you're dealing with fathers or mothers and the like. Okay. And let's see one other one. Oh, spirituality. So we talk about, okay, this one for my faith group, especially, we like to deal with Bible prophecy. And but even that is so generic, right? Because you just say everybody in the community interested in prophecy. No, if we would figure out the people who are most likely and interested in those particular prophetic books, then guess what? It would save us money because now you reach a less people rather than sending out to the whole entire. I mean, that's how we do it, right? That's hope marketing. That's the Matt Gutman spraying up, shooting up everybody. So we send out flyers to an entire city sometimes, you know, hundreds of thousands of flyers and all of these things costing thousands and thousands of dollars. And then most of the times, guess what? Only a handful of people show up to those events. Why? Imagine this. If you send 100,000 flyers out, and by the way, the rule of thumb on some of these flyers when it comes to spirituality, and in particular prophecy, is 1 in 1,000. So that means for every 1,000 pieces of flyers that you send out, only one person is going to respond. So if you want 100 people, then guess what? You have to multiply that. That's 100,000. But imagine, let's just say this. Let's say you send out 100,000 flyers and you spend, I mean, probably $40,000, $50,000 on that per se. Now, if only 50 people came to that event, wouldn't it be beneficial to you, instead of mailing 100,000 flyers, that you would know the demographics of these particular 50 people so you can reach them rather than sending to all the people who are not interested, because 50 people attended, but that's this is crazy. This is crazy if you think about it. That's 99,050 others who did not show up, who probably were not interested in this particular thing. What a waste of money and a waste of time and energies. And then people get discouraged. But again, you have to understand marketing. The issue is not even the flyers necessarily, and the issue is not you don't have good message or your community is not interested. They're not interested in that particular thing. So you have to figure out what they want. And we do that by we ask questions, and we first must understand their needs and write down who are we trying to reach specifically. Be a sniper. Who are you trying to kill, as it were, with this stone or with this flyer or with this invitation, whatever it may be. So that's kind of how I want you to look at it. Now, again, there's a digital maze out there for marketing, and this could be, again, among many things, because that's what we focus on. Should I be blogging? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Should I be doing SEO, LinkedIn, Google, Yahoo, SEO, I said before, Facebook, social media marketing and the whole 9 yards, videos on YouTube. All of those are helpful, but let me tell you, if that's not the way your customer is consuming information, then it wouldn't do you any good, right? So you have to know what they're responding to first. So first of all, let's identify exactly who you're trying to reach. So these are some of the things that we want to look at. Let's just deal with the big picture overview first, and then we'll get super niche focused. So generally, you want to know, and I'll show you an example, by the way. I'm going to show you an example of one that I did for a show that we had on Facebook, that we did for an entire year. Okay, so now, what is the name of your ideal customer client? Is it a man? Is it a woman? Okay, what is the age? So again, if you're trying to reach youth and young adults, millennials, Gen Xers, or whatever it may be, then you have to know that. Okay, but again, male and female respond differently, so you can do more than one of these, because again, that means instead of doing one flyer to reach everybody, you might have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, several to reach the different people that you're trying to reach. Okay, are they married? Are they single? Okay, write these down. These are the question you have to answer before you get into marketing or creating a message, or even selecting what you're going to do, Facebook or any of those things. Know this information, write it down. Okay, where they're located. Okay, where they're located. Are they in the United States? People in the West think differently. Are they from Canada? Are they in a particular state? Right, probably your own city. So you can list those things. What's their educational background? Right, people think differently and live in different neighborhoods depending on their economics and education background. What is their job title? What is their income range? Right, if you're selling Mercedes Benz and people are probably in the on the $50,000 category, you're probably not marketing to them. Right, maybe even up to $75,000. If they're not making up to that a year, you probably may not be marketing to them, because anybody who steps into, for example, when you send out your flyer, anybody who probably making, let's say, six figures or more that comes into your Mercedes-Benz dealership. Now, you don't have to waste time trying to, because you already know they're qualified as far as income is concerned. So now you can be less stressed about trying to persuade them to buy based on price. Okay. So that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. So other things, what are their personal interests? What are they interested in? They can be interested in a myriad of things. Okay, but we want to know those things. What are they interested in? What shows do they watch? TV shows that they're interested in, right? Because depending on the sitcom or the talk show that they watch, you can know their mindset, right? Some people are more conservative in their views, some are liberal, some are leftist, rightist. Even those political views are good to know as well, because if you are if you have a particular language and a bent towards one group, and then your marketing is really resonated with another, then you're not going to get the return that you want. Okay, what are their favorite brands? Where do they shop? Okay, what news sites do they read? Okay. What books do they read? What are their favorite books? That will tell you, right? Are they into business books? Well, they might be business minded. Are they into religious books? Okay. And if so, who are their favorite authors and stuff like that? What are their values and their attitudes, personality, lifestyle? Are they into fitness? Right? Do they eat at vegan stores, or do they vegan restaurants? I mean, or do they just go to the regular stuff where you can get a cheap burger. All right. So that tells you again who you should reach and how you should reach them. So list all their physical traits, by the way. So once you get this person in your mind, that you're trying to reach, now your language will also be more relevant to them. So let's get into more specifics now. So those are the big things, right? Those are the big pictures that you want on every marketing piece that you send out, or everything that you're trying to do to reach people, whether it's for your business, your ministry, or anything along those lines. You want to answer those questions. Even when you write a book, these are stuff we go through as well. Who is my book for? Right? I wrote a book called Transition to Civilian Life with Confidence. Well, that book is for veterans, right? And not only just veterans, but the particular niche of veterans who are transitioning from the military. So those who are in, it might be helpful for them, but I'm more focused on the ones who are actually about to get out, because they need the information now, and they will they will be more likely to take action. If you see what I'm saying. So if you're creating a coaching program, if you are creating a blog, a website, if you are creating an online course or any training courses, or developing a product, these are the things that you have to go through and ask yourself. Okay. Now, here's a slide right here. I want you to look at this about getting clarity, right? You must have a clear audience that you're trying to reach. Start with your own platform, for example, and in a circle. Maybe you can survey people around you. If you're in ministry, you can ask, your demographics that you serve, your population that you're already serving, and get some information from them. If it's a church, you can do that. If you have a regular practice, if you're a doctor or dentist, well, those information should pretty much be available, because people fill out all of this stuff all the time when you do your patient intake, right? So you have all this data already, but most people, again, you don't use it. If you have a whole bunch of customers already as a doctor, dentist, or anything along those lines, trust me, that's the kind of people that you want to reach. So you look at all the data that you have for these individuals, and you create marketing piece for those kind of people, because if they're already buying your thing, chances are there are more people just like them who will also be buying your stuff. So that's what you can do. Look at all the commonalities among all your patients and clients that you currently have, and then you will see, you take those commonalities now, common traits, and you actually use that information for marketing purposes. Okay. You want to set concrete but realistic goals and objectives, right? To measure if you're successful, because you don't know if you're going to be successful. So a lot of people sometimes They say, oh, I need to market my thing. So they go out and they find a marketer and they say, oh, I want you to just market and promote my thing. And then the person probably put up a billboard, a flyer, or whatever it is, and they don't get the results that they're looking for. And then they wonder why. And then they try to blame and say, oh, your marketing stuff doesn't work. No, it's not that the person's marketing is not working, it's that you didn't give them concrete things that you're looking for so they can measure whether or not they're successful. So, do you want to get known, for example, right? Because sometimes that's because the call to action there in your messaging will be different. If you just want to get known, get your name out there, then guess what? You're not necessarily looking for people to buy something from you. So that's different. And that's why, again, knowing this information is helpful. All right. Do you want to get your book into print? Do you want to build an email list? Well, how many people do you want to be on your email list? Do you want to sell more books, sell more packages, sell more courses or clients acquisition? Do you want what is it you want? And you put a number. So the more concrete that you have, you are developing now your marketing strategy, goals, and objectives. So this is helpful because again, we have to be laser focused. You don't want to be just like the mad person just sending out there and we just hope that people will come. Hey, if you keep doing that, you're wasting dollars. So again, in nonprofit work, we see this happen quite a bit. Okay, we don't even set a number or a target on how many people we want to come into our events. Most of the times, I see faith-based communities do that. They send out a lot of flyers, a lot of stuff in the mail, and guess what? If people come, fine. If they don't, fine. And there's nobody holding them to it. I don't think that's the best or good use of of finances. So we want to know our customers, know your fans, know your target. So here are some of the more powerful questions now. After you've gotten the demographic information, meaning the age, where they're from, background, income, job titles, and all of those kind of things. After you've gotten all that kind of information, here are the most relevant questions that you have to ask now, because you got to understand the mindset of the people you're dealing with, because this helps when it comes to now being a copywriter. When you want to speak to that community, what language are you going to be able to use for them? So, for example, now what keeps them up at night staring at the ceiling? This is a popular one that most marketers will always throw out there in their training. But what keeps them up at night? What are they worried about? What are they frustrated about? What's causing them pain? You see, because people will pay to solve their pain. They don't want to be, in pain. So that again is a psychological thing. That's a reality. People will do anything to avoid pain and do everything to gain more pleasure. So those are two strong motivations for people to take action. So again, if you are sending something out in the mail and people who are in debt, well, it's painful for them to be in debt. They want to get out of debt and they want it to be quick and easy. So instead of offering 12 steps, you might say, hey, here is the magic bullet. And you just have to do these 3 things over 12 things, for example. That's easier for them, right? So it is less painful for them to do that and it's more pleasurable for them to be out of debt. Okay, people who are overweight, right? They're getting married, they want to look good in their bikini for the wedding, but right now their weight is not where they want it to be. So that person is in a position now to be able to buy your thing about losing weight. And not only that, but losing weight quickly because the wedding is coming up. Do you see the difference here? Now, another question is, what is the single biggest problem that you can solve, right? Because again, they might have many touch points, but we want to know what is the number one thing, because you got to rub that in when it comes to your writing, or if it's a video, however it's coming across, whatever you're going to use to reach them, you have to put that in your messaging, right? Are you sick and tired of looking down at your gut that hasn't moved in 20 years, right? Is it time for you? You see what I'm saying? you know have you been worrying about your children not achieving the kind of goals and dreams that they have when you have given them everything that you possibly could have done for them, and yet they're not achieving? You see now that's giving pain to the situation. Yeah, I'm tired of that, I need to fix it right away. And now your call to action can be much stronger. Another question is, what do they secretly or privately desire the most, and what's their greatest wish? Okay, So this is something that, again, I use for everything in books and courses. Doesn't matter what it is. I try my best to answer these questions for whoever I'm trying to reach with whatever I come up with. Another one. Here's a great one. If I could just blank, then blank. In other words, if I can just lose 10 pounds, then I will be able to fit in my whatever outfit. Another one is okay. On that book for the veterans, I use this very thing as an example. So this is the question that military veterans ask. If I could just replace my military income, then I would have confidence to transition. Or then I would not be so afraid to transition. So that's why my book is called what? Transition to Civilian Life with Confidence. Meaning that, and how are they going to be able to replace their income? Well, the pitch for that was you can use what you're already being given. You don't have to even retrain. You can use your military training and experiences to be able to start your own business or career. Voila. See? So now I'm making it more pleasant. Oh, man. So I already got all the tools and everything that I need, and I make the case for that in the book. Okay. So again, if I can just save 20, $1,000, then I will be able to move into my new house. If I can just get my husband to behave, then hopefully I will be happier, right? Of course, we know that that may not be helpful, but nonetheless, if that's what they're saying in their mind, then that's the stuff that you have to use to be able to get them interested in your thing, because now you'll give them the proper solution, right? Again, faith-based community and churches, even, right? People are answering this question. If I could just understand the book of Revelation, then I wouldn't just be so afraid. I remember reading that book as a child, and I was afraid of it. I didn't read it again till I became an adult, right? So that's something that people can say. If I can just understand the sign of the times, what do these things mean? You know? And so you use that now in your advertising piece. Okay? Make sense? Let me see if I have another one for you here. Let's go. It's getting super clear now. Super clear. This is the sniper. Let's get much deeper into it. This training or this course or this product, whatever it is, you put your thing in there, right? This thing that I have is for who? Is for this set of people. That's your audience or your market who has this particular problem so that they can do what? So this is a formula. Right? I'm giving you a formula right here. What you see right here is a formula. So I want you to answer this. I want you to write it down. So for example, monetize your skills. This course or book, Monetize Your Skills, is for, right, professionals and entrepreneurs and ministry leaders who, what problem do they have? They don't have the money, the resources that they need to be able to make the kind of impact they want. So this is what I'm saying now. So this book, Monetize Your Skills, or this coach, Monetize Your Skills Academy, is for professionals and entrepreneurs who who want to take their education, expertise, and experiences so they can make a six-figure income. That was the thing that's going to solve their problem. So they can do what? If you read the subtitle again, it's kind of long, but it says, so they can make a lasting impact, fund their dream, and sustain their mission, message, or cause. It fits right there perfectly. Another way of putting it is my coaching program or my company, whatever it may be, okay, my business, my practice. So that's the name of your thing. So you name it. It is what? What does it do? Is it developing something? Is it providing? Is it making an offer? So you have to define it. So my business, and this is again, you can use your, start a business off of this as well. My business or my ministry is for what? To help who? Solve what problem? Using what method or secrets? All right? Does it make sense? Come on, folks. I hope we're there. Does it make sense? Again, let's try it. Let me try to fill it out for you. Okay, so let's say I'm in the community, because I know again many of us here again we have those intrinsic motivations, right? So let's just say you're a nonprofit and you want to help single mothers to be able to, get their GEDs, for example. Okay, so my nonprofit offers GED classes in the evenings to help single mothers who have what problem, who have, who cannot take care of themselves or who have dropped out of school so they can take care of their children. Okay, so that's what it is. And my secret, our framework, is that we have a 12-week class that will get them up to par with whatever. Another one, we just did this at our church, for example. We just did an 8-week depression recovery program. So here it is. Okay. Our depression and recovery program is to help our members and anyone who wants to know more about depression, whether they have it or not, so that they will be able to be in peak mental state, to be able to overcome better. So using what? And again, using the person's program we used was Nedley. Using Dr. Neil Nedley's depression and recovery program, or using Dr. Neil Nedley's depression and recovery the way out. He has a book on that. So that's how we break this down and we can offer. So soon we're going to be doing one for finances. Our church just became debt free, and now we want our members now to be debt free. So we're going to be using Financial Peace University. So for example, we can say, what if it were our program? But let's just say, for example, we start with the church, right? So our church, right, is offering Financial Peace University to help our members, that's the audience specifically, and members of our community who are in debt, that's the problem, they're in debt, or who want to build wealth, using Dave Ramsey's 12-week Financial Peace University program or strategy or whatever it is. See, voila, right there. So now we have a specific group of people that we want to meet, right? You want to get out of debt and you want to be able to know how to build wealth. This is a program that can help you do that. And now, who are we going to reach? Well, we know for most of us, we have two pretty much sets of groups. Well, three, actually, three. So we're not going to do one particular flyer to reach everybody. We're going to do three at least. One is for the younger people. We're talking about now teenagers to about early 20s. The next one is to reach now those who are in their 20s to 30s, and then anyone over that. Some of our seniors, but not so senior, because most of them, if they're over 55, 60, then they pretty much, most of them at least right now, are not too worried about that. So that's where our demographics go. So we're looking again, age group, the first one in their teens to their early 20s, then mid 20s to 30s, and then 40, 50, about 55 is our cutoff. So that's really what we're looking at right there. That's it. That's an example of being a sniper. Okay. That's what I want you to focus on. I really, really hope that this simple exercise is going to be helpful to you. Now, because we had some glitches in the beginning, okay, and I don't want to keep you over time. So I know we didn't do our full training because of time, but I want to respect our time that we said we're going to go for this time frame. So we will polish it up more as we go. We'll learn more as we go. But I want you to actually do these exercises, all right? Go back and do them, because it's only by the doing we're going to get the results. And if you do these things, trust me, you're going to be able to make a big difference. So another one is, I want to coach. Who do you want to coach? Who do you want to teach? Who do you want to train? Who do you want to work with? I want to teach this kind of people, this particular subject, solving what particular problem with my solution. For example, I want to teach men and women, or I want to teach people who are interested in Bible prophecy, who live in XYZ community, so that they will be able to be prepared for the future apocalypse, something like that, right? I want to be able to teach people who are tired of being weak, who are tired of not being fit. I want to teach them my secret strategies for losing weight and feeling great in 6 weeks or less. Voila. That's an example there as well. I hope you got it. I hope you got it. So stop asking for permission to succeed. I grant you right now the permission to succeed and to be the best that you can be. All right. So that's really where we're going to pause for today. I really know that you going to make a difference. We try to send you the information out on we're going to send you the information when it comes to the replay, so that you can go ahead and get it. Now, if by chance you have gotten this video, or you got this particular training from a friend, please share it, pass it on. I have a book called Monetize Your Skills. If you have not gotten this book yet, please, I beseech you, by the mercies of God, that you owe it to yourself to get this book so you can learn how to actually monetize your skills. That's why we're here as a community. Monetize your skills really and truly is changing people's life. It's helping professionals, entrepreneurs, ministry leaders to be able to take what they have and leverage it beyond what you're already doing. Because what we said is many of us can survive and live off of what we have. But I believe in order to make an impact, in order to touch the world at a bigger level, we need more resources. And so it's not always about cutting back. That's for what you do with your own job or practice right now. But we want you to have more leverage by producing from your knowledge, your education, expertise, and experiences, products, program, or services, products, books, whatever it may be, courses, coaching people, teaching people, consulting, whatever it may be, speaking on stages. All of these are extra things that you can do that you're not doing right now on your job or in your regular career. So if you can be able to now figure that out and be able to bring in some extra income, then you can do more things, right? That's kind of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a kingdom minded men and women who want to impact the kingdom on a deeper level, right? Because you can only do so much in your own little faith-based community. Like you just can't really, there's not room right now. In other words, I believe that God wants us to step out the box and the boundaries that we've been confined to because of whether it be resources or whatever. But now I'm telling you, this is the right moment with the power of the internet. Technology is freeing us up from all of this madness. All right. So you let people do, even for me, like I said, I'm doing fairly, quite a bit. Okay. But if I were to rely simply on my own little faith-based community, even two churches that I have, I wouldn't, that's all. I can't make big impacts with that way. But when I step out of the boundaries, out of the fold, and I am able to leverage my expertise, my knowledge, and so forth, now we can do so much more. Right? Like I said, just last year, we went over to Ghana. I mean, thousands of people, right? Just with medical help, 3,000 people was served. You know, if my own faith-based community right here, where I'm at right now, for example, they have not even started a church for how long? But because of what I do to leverage myself, just in the last 2 years alone, we have planted 19 new churches. 19. Think about that. Last year we did 10. The year before that, just myself and three other people, four of us, we each started four new churches, for example. Why? Because we stepped out the boundaries, right? We serve locally because that's what we do. But we believe that when you tap into your knowledge, your education, your expertise, and you leverage it into products, programs, or services, it opens door and it can now share with other people, right? Because now, for example, this book monetizes skills. This is stuff that I know. This is stuff, but I put it in a book so other people can have it. Now, people from different parts of the world, have been able to read this book and tap into the information. I can't go there. I can't stay there, but my book can go where I cannot, and it can stay where I cannot. Even online courses, the same thing. Okay, so share the message. All right, share the message. And if by chance you already have monetized your skills, I mean, it doesn't cost a lot. So what I want you to do is give this book to someone because we are all part of a community. Gift it to them. So go to strategicsecrets.com/books and you will see quite a few of our books there. Or go to strategicsecrets.com/courses and gift the course to somebody, or get the course if you have not yet getting into one of our courses at Strategic Secrets University. Okay, so I hope that served you. I hope it really make you think about being more laser focused and intentional about how you're going to market and promote yourself. Remember, this whole month we are dealing with marketing. So tonight was just the introduction on the type of marketing I want you to consider and focus. And again, this applies to everything. Don't worry about whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're business, whether you're ministry. It all is the same information. Okay, it all is the same. We have to use these same principles in order to be effective. And it doesn't matter if you have a book, if you have a course, if you have supplements, if you have practice where people come into your office for dental cleaning or whatever. It all is the same. It's really and truly is all the same thing. So it's helpful for us all. And I hope, especially my faith-based community, for those who are on here, that we will stop the madness of just, bombarding the whole community and the whole, state, as it were, with all of our messaging that doesn't mean anything, that doesn't resonate with no one. At the bare minimum, use some of these strategies and create multiple pieces rather than just one piece to reach everybody. You need to have several different pieces. So, okay, next week we're going to go more into other things. We're going to talk about digital marketing, because again, that's one of the untapped things, and that's what we are here about. If we can learn this thing faster, ladies and gentlemen, we can do a whole lot more. And the next thing we're also going to be dealing with, I'm going to show you specifics on how to do that. I didn't have time tonight to show you my own thing that we did for the Monetize You show, which we had that doing for an entire year. So I'll probably share that with you maybe next time, or we probably send it in the replay. But God bless you. I want to respect your time for tonight. Take care, and we'll see you on next week, Thursday. Bye bye.